O.G.B.O. This is Omega Man Codes. I'm re-recording the video why a lot of men walk away from their children. I'm redoing this video by request. A lot of people complain about the sound quality. Okay, so I'm going to do this video in almost like three parts. What I mean is, I'm going to do it from the perspective of the female, from the perspective of the side dude, from the perspective of the dude that's being cheated on, really four parts in the overall perspective of the children. Okay, now, for whatever reason, a woman is with a man, and several years go by, and I guess boredom kick in. Then there's history, maybe history of cheating and being extra or whatever. But I would say this on behalf of all men, well, most men. Men are dutiful. A man, when you understand biology, the child, in fact, is more the father's than the mother. To prove this, I want you to think about sperm. Sperm, when it's released, is in motion. Anything in motion has energy. Energy is either natural or artificial. The fact that that energy, that motion in that sperm enters the womb, it does not go backwards, it does not go left or right, it goes to the destination, which is the egg. And once it gets there, it gets busy fertilizing the egg. That shows that not only is there energy, but there's intelligence. So the fact that we are here living, breathing, shows that the sperm that produced us was alive. So the fact that you have life is connected directly to the sperm and the producer of the sperm, which is the father. So the essence of life itself is the father. Now, once we understand this, we begin to see how men are, in most cases, the man is more willing to sacrifice his happiness, his overall well being for his children. A man would stay with a woman that cheats. It's not that he's happy, it's not that he's a beta. We have to stop throwing words around because they don't always fit. None of those things. The reason he sticks around is because that child is him, literally. It's him, the future him, as he's the presence of his father, right? When you were in your dad, you were in your dad when your dad was in and his dad, all going all the way back to the original man, which is God. That's something to take note of, right? Now, a man would stay in a situation where he's unhappy, thinking about the child and the overall well being of the child. The woman, although she's a nurturer, is most loyal to her feelings, her emotions. A woman will leave a good man because she's unhappy or she meets someone else who gives her, who takes that boredom away. Oftentimes, she leave a good man, a provider, for a man who's just good at laying pipe. I mean, let's just keep it real. And sometimes you find men who are good at laying pipe and producing and leading, but sometimes, you know, a producing man, a productive man out here working, after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, he's not looking to come home and roll around in the bed for an hour, 2 hours. He's gonna get in and get out. That's what it is. So, but he's producing. Now, here's a non-productive man who don't have anything invested with the woman. He's not looking to have anything other than sex with the woman. But he comes along and he gets in her bed and he takes that boredom away. He brings excitement to her life. Now she's, in Wonderland. And this is where the lines get crossed. First and foremost, men never violate family. My father told me when I was young, son, if you're not going to take care of that man's children, don't mess with his woman. Now, we have a generation of men growing up that are not men. Absence of fathers and growing up in an environment where everything is upside down. So right is wrong, wrong is right. Yeah, there's no loyalty, there's no principles, there's no man code being taught and demonstrated. There's no examples of men being men. It's not on television, it's not in the movies, it's not on radio. You understand me? Some of us are blessed to have men and uncles that teach us man codes, but unfortunately, it's not a lot of that. And this is what I'm attempting to explain what's going on here. Now, this is not every situation, but this is a blueprint for most situations. Okay? The man is being sacrificed. His duty is used against him, is weaponized, is used against him. This is what goes on. Now, new man comes along. He know that woman has a man, right? But he gets in her bed. He justifies this. She for the street, okay? He justifies violating that family and he gets in the bed. Now, because he's new dick, and new dick is always good dick because it comes with new experiences. It gives the woman a sense of excitement. She's not bored in her day-to-day life anymore. You know, she's anticipating him coming in 15 minutes after the man goes to work, right? Now, he drop it on her, right? And she makes him feel like he's king of the world. He's King Dingaling. So he coming back. See? She getting it mixed up. She's thinking that he's coming back because she got, potential. That he's thinking about maybe being her man. But in reality, and he may be feeding her this, but in reality, he's chasing that high, that ego high. She's talking about leaving her family. Now, this to a man that's non-productive or who has underproduced, he's 30, 40, 50 years old, he don't have a lot of trophies on his wall of accomplishments, and here's a woman that's making him feel like he's King Dingaling. He's able to go to his boys now and say, yeah, man, I put it on her so good, bro. She ready to leave her nigga. Yeah, that nigga paying all her bills, raising his children, raising children he ain't produced. He giving this bro money, everything, bro. And I come over there and I put it on her, man. She ready to leave that nigga. Now, this is a drug. That ego stroking is a drug for him. And he's going to keep coming back. Keep coming back. And the more he comes back, because the woman, she releases a hormone that's considered the love-making hormone, right? Where the more she engages him, the more attached she becomes to him, and she's feeling what she interprets as love, right? for him. Now, the more he comes around, the more she pushes away from the man who's providing for her, right? To it gets to a point where she totally walks away from that man. But that'll be one thing, but she walks away and takes the man's children with her. See? Now, imagine what this does to the man who produced those children. He's literally losing his mind. See? His manhood has been called out, his respect has been called out. He lost his woman, and more or worse than anything else, he's losing his position with his children. Let me explain this to you. Children, up until maybe 12 years old, are wed to their mothers. What I mean is, the child loves what mom loves. Here's why. When mom is happy, mom, hey, that's my little man. That's my little man right there. You know, she's lovey-dovey with the child. You know, she's buying the child gifts and spending time with the child because, you know, she's in happy mode. Then child begins to recognize that when new man come around, mom is happy. See? When dad come around, mom is upset. So when dad's around, man, you just like your nothing ass dad. I can't stand him. You look just like that little ugly motherfucker. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. See? And when she's trying to justify the unjustifiable, which is tearing down her family, she's rehearsing this in front of the children. You understand me? Especially when the child looks like dad or move like dad, think like dad. She begins to attack those characteristics in the child. Not outright, in most cases. It's usually, you know, her disdain for dad, you know, she takes out on the child. Anything the child do, she amplifies it. Damn, I told you to clean your goddamn room. Shit, I can't get you to do shit just like your goddamn daddy. You understand how that play out? See? But when new dude come around, hey little man, don't worry about it. You can clean it up later, little man. So child begins to love what mom loves and dislike what mom dislikes. Do you see how this plays out psychologically? Fellas, this is why you leave a family alone. You don't do that. Because see, this is the reality. When you come between that man and that woman, right? You don't have an investment with that woman. You don't have no children with that woman. Whenever you decide to leave, you can go. But guess what? When you leave that woman, reality kicks in. Regret kicks in. Now she has to face that she did this to herself. She has to face the reality that the man who was there, he wasn't necessarily happy. In fact, 9 times out of 10, he was miserable. And he's probably out right now living his best life, realizing that you did him a favor. And he gets to hold his head high knowing that he didn't fuck the family up. You did. The woman did. See? So he don't have to feel bad, and he's out living his best life. He's relieved that now he can wake up every day, go out here and produce, continue to build his legacy. You understand me? Went out here and got him a woman that sees his value, amplifies his value, increases it, because when you give to a good woman, she multiplies. You understand how that works? Now he's coming into the realization of this. He's like, damn, this dude did me a favor. right? And no way, under no circumstances, is he going back with that woman. She done disrespected him to the utmost. She then took his crown and gave it to another man, dogged him out, told her family how toxic he was, and 9 times out of 10, mom and grandmama, they know who that heifer is. They ain't gonna tell her, but they know she for the streets. And sometimes mom, grandmama try to pull her coat like, baby, what you about to do right now, you gonna regret it, but go ahead, do you. See? And now she's living with the realization of that. You understand? Because the new man then bounced on her. Or he don't get that rush that he used to get, because part of that that ego drug that he was chasing was based on her dogging her man for him. But now that the man is gone, it's just him and her. And he started to realize, damn, you understand? Now, her not realizing, her dogging that man then already sealed the deal for him. He's saying to himself, oh, never. I'm never going to be her man. I may have told her that, but I'm not going to be her man. I saw what she did to him. And she had children by him. He took care of her, and she did that to him. He was raising babies that he didn't produce, and she did that to him. He was giving her, paying all her bills and putting her in a position to win, and she did that to him. She ain't gonna do that to me. So he's gone. And now she realized that she fucked herself. Cause she can't go back with baby daddy. That's dead. And now she got 2, 3, 4 children by multiple baby fathers. So guys ain't looking to wife her. Every guy who comes along now is gonna slut her out as long as he can before he take off. So now bitterness sets in. See? Now she's bitter. She becomes the bitter auntie at the picnic or the cookout. You know, the one you bring your boyfriend, and she, oh girl, don't you believe that BS he telling you, they dogs, girl. They ain't shit, girl. Yeah, that bitter auntie. If you do a research on her, you will see the ain't shit is the one doing the talking. But she's still in delusion. She still want to accept accountability, because for some reason it's difficult for women, modern women, to accept accountability for situations that they create for themselves and their children. See? I don't know if it's shame or what, but they cannot deal with, I did this. They always have to, well, if you did this, I would have did that. You understand me? So this is the reason a lot of men turn away from their children. Basically, simply put, pride is everything a man got. When you take that pride from a man, you take his children and you put them in a situation with another man. And then you set up situations like, you give him stipulations on how he can see his children, if you allow him to see his children at all. See? Because the new man, he know he done violated. So in most cases, he don't want to meet the baby daddy, because he's a coward. Or he don't want the female, so he don't want to be in a situation where he's fighting. You know what I mean? All these thoughts are going through his head, how a potential meeting with baby daddy may go wrong. See? And the woman, she's committed to her feelings, and since he's providing that good feeling, she's gonna safeguard him, even to the point of keeping the children away from their daddy. See? Now dad is stressing and going crazy, right? And he's contemplating killing somebody. But then he have an epiphany, and he said, well, damn, if I kill him, I go away forever. Or I can play my position. I can turn my back, walk away. knowing at some point my children, because water seeks its own level, knowing at some point my children going to be of age where they can pick up a phone and they can call me. See? So a lot of guys choose, rather than going away for life, dealing with a woman with low frequency, they turn away from the child. And that's a sad reality, but it is reality, and it's going on in 1 out of 3 households in America right now, in black families particularly, white families and other families as well, but it's greater in the black community because we're dealing with 400 years of oppression. We're dealing with 400 years of playing the man against the woman and the woman against the man. Case in point, because people say, why don't you go to court? Most black men who grew up in the streets and they got history going in them courts in shackles and chains and handcuffs, they are fearful of going to that court. And then they knowing the reality. The courts are rigged. Now, in common sense, if we had a common sense based law, you give the child to the parent who was fighting to save the family. But we don't have a common sense based court system. We have a court system that's going to 9 times out of 10 give the children to the mother regardless of the situation. The father may be better situated financially, but rather than give the children to the father based on statistics, which favors the father, children are far more likely to succeed at life raised by a single father or its equal. A, a family where there's a father and a woman equals a family where it's just a single father, the success rate of the children. But in all equations, children raised by single mothers are at the bottom. They are most likely to suffer abuse, far more likely to become drug abusers and users, far more likely to go in and out of the justice system, starting as juveniles and later going to prison as adults. These are just statistics. Now the judge knows these statistics and still he gives the children to the mother because it's about destroying the black family. So a lot of men knowing this just avoid the courts at all. I mean, altogether and just turn their back, and say what's gonna be is gonna be. This is O.G.B.O. This is a mega man codes, fellas. Stand on codes, man. It's cheap for the street, you let somebody else run over. But don't put yourself in that situation. And dudes that's in that situation, I want you to understand. You're in a dangerous situation because some guys don't choose option B, which is walk away. Some guys, there's a saying with hunters, people who hunt wild game. Never corner a wounded animal. Never corner a wounded animal and don't give them a way out. Which means when you hurt a person emotionally, you're playing games with a man's children and you're giving him no way out. He's going to go through you. You understand? Fellas, if you put yourself in that situation where you got that man pushed out of his family and now you watching that man's children, you disciplining that man's children, you playing Russian roulette. But you playing ghetto Russian roulette. Whereas in the basic Russian roulette, you put one bullet in a revolver that carries 6. But you playing ghetto roulette. So you putting 5 bullets in a barrel that holds 6 and you spin it. You understand the significance of what I'm saying? This is O.G.B.O. This is a mega man code. Till next time. Peace and hair grace.